Alright, post it on socials. I don't know who will join, but whoever ends up joining, I hope they enjoy. I think I've learned all I can from the people here to discover anything of note. Hi, Husk. You found her, thank goodness. Oh, my notifications are on. Oops. Who are you people? Do I have my water bottle near me? Oh my god, I do not. BRB, a tiny moment. Look everyone, it's the character from Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy. It's Dissidia 012 Duodecim Final Fantasy. Thank you very much. Anyway, I forgot to get some water. The name is Prish. Your father asked us to come and find you. What are you doing out here all by yourself? He said we have to move, but I don't want to go. I want to stay in Alexandria and be a singer. I know nothing about the music in Tuliyollal, and they'd never listen to a nobody like me who's not even from Tural. Thinking about it made me so mad, I needed to be alone to think, so I ran, and I kept running, and somehow I found myself here. I'm sorry if I caused you all any trouble. You don't need to be sorry. You're safe, and that's all that matters. You know, you remind me of a friend of mine. Ulmia. One day, I found her out near the coast with a beautiful ewe just like this, crying like it was the end of the world. She had been trying to join the choir, but turns out she was too nervous to sing in front of people. But this world is one damn big place. If you spend all your time dwelling on small setbacks, you'll never be able to appreciate the bigger picture. I don't want to move. Runs away. Yeah. Also, I see you're just taking the chance to use your remote husk. It'd be a lie to say I know what you're going through. But what I do know is this. Giving up on singing would mean the end of the world you've been working toward. I told Ulmia the same thing, and you know what? She keeps pursuing her passion for singing, and eventually joined the Tavnazian Cathedral Choir, just like she'd always dreamed. But what if they hate my songs? What if they just all laugh at me? All sorts of people live here in Tyrol, you know? And now there are even folks from another world mingling with the locals. It's full to bursting with diversity. Being different as well will make your song special. And I'm sure there are people here who appreciate that. So I say keep singing. Share your music with this big wide world. I'm a little iffy with the throat today. Would it be alright if I start by sharing with you? Yeah, I'm not sure how much more. I already did the Final Fantasy XI raid, but I never finished the questing, so I'm doing that before moving on to main scenario. Ah, there you are. So good to see you all safe. Scoria has told me everything. I don't know how I could ever repay you. But after we've finished moving to Tuliyollal, I certainly intend to try. You have my word on that. I hope to see you again soon, and I'd love to meet your friend Ulmia as well. You and me both. When we do, we'll be certain to tell Ulmia that Prish has another dear friend who is dying to meet her. I can hardly wait. I promise to keep singing, sharing my music with the world just like you said. So you better come back. I'll have a front row seat waiting for you. Right, of course. We had better be on our way. Thank you again, for everything. Till we meet again, I hope. Also, I hope the sound balance is good, because unlike most other games, I actually do have quite a lot of sound options. I'll assume this is the last quest of the bunch. Now that Scoria is safe and reunited with her father, I think it's time we make for the dome. We can take the train from Shalawani Station. Preesh, it's time to go. Alright, sorry, let's get going. What luck, the train's just arrived. I know I said worrying about it if we're real isn't going to get us anywhere, but... Gods, I feel like such a damn hypocrite. I can't stop thinking about what Surreal Jaw said. I'm not scared, though. I mean, it's a little scary, but more than that, it's a... Why does this have to be so complicated? Oh, to give context, these two characters, they might be replicas based on memories of Vana'diel, instead of being, like, the real deal. You really miss home, do you? That's probably it. Listening to Scoria sing reminded me of Olmia and home. Makes me wonder what everyone is up to. I can think of at least one person who's already in the midst of their next grand adventure. Even if we're merely echoes, who is to say we cannot return to Vana'diel? I have no doubt Surreal Jaw would know a way. And what place would I have in Vana'diel when the real Presh is already there? Just when I think I've put it out of my mind, I think of Carnalaut and Eldnark. Clearly imposters, and proof we're living the same lie. Then we met Scoria. She's so excited to have us come back and see her sing. And saying we would just felt like more of that lie. There's no doubt in my mind we'll stop Surreal Jaw, but then what? What happens to us? Well, that I had an answer for you, but I don't. No one does. Because the future is what we make of it. Once this is over, I intend to see all this world has to offer. I may be without memories, but I've not lost my adventurer's heart. Perhaps I'll even find a new calling along the way. This world is one damn big place, after all. As I say, there's something out there for the both of us. When you're right, you're right. I guess we'll just find our own place to call home. But first things first, we need to go and meet with Oblivion. Or... huh? Or that can happen. Damn it all. We had better hurry. Husk, I'm surprised you didn't do a Xenoblade joke. Ah, you must be the one Shale told me about. I'm Kikwazana, one of the electrical engineers. So what is it that you wanted to discuss? I see your angry emote, Husk. You know I'm right. I see. Well, that'd take more than just memories etched into Electrope. Mamulja magics are quite impressive, though. They almost seem alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Technically, maybe. Let's just forget I said anything, alright? Don't worry about it. We're not even sure ourselves, to be honest. The only thing we're certain of is that our bodies are made from Electrope. We were hoping you could help figure out what that means for us. We can't just sit around moping, you know? I'm not sure how much I can help, but I'd certainly love to try. We are in your debt, sir. While you're conducting your test, would it be alright if we had a look around? There's something about the unfamiliar lands that stirs an adventurer's blood and... Wait, if we're made of Electrope, do we even have blood to stir? Heh, even if we don't, that's an absurd question to ask, don't you think? It's just like Square to make replica characters. Oh boy, Husk, just wait until we get to the actual main scenario. Well, at least they seem to be in better spirits. Perhaps they simply find the truth comforting. If we might return to the topic at hand, yes, feel free to explore as you like. And it's settled. The site of our next adventure will be here in the Dome. And then, Shak Tural. I hope we'll see you around, Aled. I can't ever make up my mind if it's just supposed to be Aled or Eled. Both sound nice to me. And worry not, I will keep a close eye on Prish and ensure we're not away overlong. We mustn't lose sight of our true goal, after all. To defeat Sarilja, and God's willing, secure a means of persisting without his magics. I also, in some videos I had, tried to give my Hrothgar an accent, because I have a lot of headcanons, but I'm not consistent. I'm not consistent with doing a Latino accent despite being Latino. And I'll stand by the both of you every step of the way. If the two of you will follow me, I need to collect a few samples. Listen, listen. I don't have an accent because I'm perfectly bilingual. Be nice to me, Husk. Oh no, I forgot. I never took them to Shibalyav for tacos. There's so much in Tuliyola that they've yet to see. So much they've yet to eat. I suppose I'll have to bring food here when they're free. A fine idea, brother. Yeah, you're technically Southerner, but I would not be able to geographically place your accent. Perhaps, but we'll have to wait. Let's return to Bright Bloom Post for now. Also, yes, Bakul Jaja is in fact a big lad. And for reference, here's what a regular Mamulja looks like. Bakul Jaja told me what happened. Well done defeating Sarilja's echoes. We'll make certain the guards are as duly prepared should new threats arise in Yaktel. Waiting for Sarilja to show himself is maddening, but it will be... I don't like reading generic, yeah, we'll see next time dialogues. Oh. Another cutscene? Meanwhile, somewhere in the rift... Can't wait to see this resolved in a year. How much longer must I wait for this vessel you promised me? My apologies, Dawn Servant. It is no simple matter to fashion a vessel befitting one of your majesty, but soon, very soon, preparations will be complete. How many times have I explained this to that insufferable oaf? I thought him a kindred spirit from across the rift, but his impulsiveness is beginning to test my patience. At least that adventurer, for their part, continues to exceed my expectations. Once I find the echo that proves his match, everything else will fall into place. He did well to stand against the ancients, but against the gods, not a chance. Okay, that just confirms to me what the next boss of, like, what the next final boss of these raids is going to be. His companions will need to be dealt with as well. Prish will be simple enough, but the other one, Alxol, was it? I thought he was nothing more than a middling amalgamation of memories. That he continues to survive defies all reason. A man of such resilience in Vana'diel would have to be... No, he couldn't be. If I'm right about this, then no matter. Thankfully, I'm not without my contingencies. We deserve better. We will have better. Only blessed siblings, possessed of resolve and reason, are fit to rule. Bakul Jaja was little more than a witless brute before, but clearly his companions have stirred something within him. Perhaps he's not without value after all. Memories abiding within Juno stir once more. Perhaps the adventurers there have more knowledge to share. Okay. Alright, now for real. I'm still not doing the story. I will... You know what, Husk? You're the one viewer active in chat. Trial or raid? Trial or raid? Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-ba. Man, I wish the chat pop-ups were real, for, my end of live stream. Because that also means they're gone from the VOD, and I hate that. Oh. Alright, what will today's raid be? Oh! It's a little loud even on my end. Eden Prime. Alright. I remember back when this first came out, it kind of was a shock to everyone that the first boss would be Eden itself. Because in the Alexander raid series, the final boss was Alexander Prime. In the Omega raid series, the final bosses were, well, Omega. And here, your first boss is Eden. Also, I'm going to assume the sound balancing is still okay, but please tell me otherwise. Yes, it's fine. Nice. I don't know, for some reason that threw me off. It did not look like all 8 people were there. Oh. Oh. Oh! Well, good thing that wasn't a kill. It's just lacking backslash. Backslash! Double spinning edge! Monado Buster! Anchor shot! Ooh, this segment. I love the piano. All in all, this is a pretty good remix of Force Your Way, although I kind of wish it was a little bit more synthy. Husk, this is the same dubbing studio that dubs Xenoblade. It also has British people yelling. Okay, there you go. There's the correction. Anyway, time for one of the most ridiculous things to happen in a raid. In Final Fantasy VIII, Eden is the ultimate summon. You get it from beating the Ultima weapon. And it has one of the longest attack animations of summons in Final Fantasy history. And they just, recreate it here. You know, just get casually blasted into into a black hole. That was almost a minute long, oh my god. Mommy, why is there a summoning rune in the sky? Ah, you just know, son. It's just the warrior of light. And we're almost done. Alright, I'll give, them. There we go. they were new to the raid, so might as well give the commendation to them. Alright. That's enough preamble before getting into the story. So, last time on Final Fantasy XIV, as in the previous patch, so let me open up the journal here. So, after Dawn Trail, where a whole mess of things happens, Wuklamat and her brothers and her brother are now the new royalty. They investigate some ruins, something to do with cows, and they're mourning the loss of Queen Sphene, but suddenly she's back. They had a funeral for her even, and everyone in Alexandria somehow forgot the funeral even happened to begin with. And so now we have the real Sphene, because the villain of the base game was actually an AI recreation of Sphene, and the real one is suddenly alive, and she's kind of traumatized as to why the hell am I alive? What are they doing with my image? And we meet a guy. His name is Calyx, and it turns out he's a scientist who made the AI recreation, and he tried to kill us, almost succeeded, and let's see. Yeah, we just gotta keep watch for this Calyx guy. Which is really funny that they introduce him so late in these patches, because, oh, I'm getting a low battery warning. Give me a moment. It's very funny that they introduce Calyx as this big new antagonist, right before the final patch, because this patch is supposed to be the conclusion of Dawn Trail's story, period, before they start setting up for the new expansion. So, uh-oh. Sorry, I don't have my controller cable plugged in. Alrighty, there we go. And I'm gonna take a sip of water. You know what, before we proceed, I feel like asking, because I got fashion. So, should I keep with this casual outfit for these cutscenes, or should I switch to the adventuring outfit? I like both of them. So, casual outfit or adventuring outfit, your choice. I have many adventuring outfits. This one's a favorite. Do I have a dice near me? But I want to be all the outfits. Well, yeah, but I'm choosing what outfit do I go with before I proceed with the story. Do I keep it casual? Do I use this usual? Or do I use the more knightly looking one? You know what, I think I know what I'll do. Until it starts being actiony, I'll just stick to the casual fit. Oh, my shoulder's hurting. I don't know why, but I've noticed about my my speech. I've been dropping the G a lot in words. Don't know when that started, but it just started happening. If you have a moment, Aled, Geode wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. I might not read everything because I don't want my voice to get, like, utterly exhausted, but... Sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial to us as well. Ah, yes, the recap. First things first, then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about the new incidents since then, right? Right, no additional reports have been logged. As far as I know, that's the good news. The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? You can be like Kamen Rider or something, where you look normal until the bad guys show up and suit up. I mean, Husk, you saw one of the outfits. I literally... Actually, wait. After this cutscene ends, I'll be funny. Calyx. He lived in the age of the Storm Surge, as I did. Took you a while to remember the name Kamen Rider. It happens. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough, exploring treatments for Levin's sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the tragedy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of the flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulate. Oh my god, they're Jehovah's Witnesses. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. If we mean to foil Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down, which unfortunately is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Galulja and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep. So shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. I hate feeling so phlegmy. All right. Last year for the summer event, they literally added a common rider outfit. Here's what my armor looks like if I remove all the glamours. Ain't it ugly? And well, of course, there's this fit as well. Which you can change what the visor looks like. I like that the helmet has the little cat ears. That's cute to me. I like that this system exists. I don't like that you can't reorder the glamours. Are you alright, Geode? Me, I'm well enough, given the circumstances. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. Then the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Mouth flap, mouth flap. Well, the dialogue is there in The Chosen. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts would come to mind. That it cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx, nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. Wow, I love Expedition 33! As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibility? After everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well then. We'd best not let you down. Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Oh, it suits her. Oh, cheeky, cheeky. In Final Fantasy IX, see, Sphene is a stand-in for Garnet, and in Final Fantasy IX, Garnet is a summoner, and the grimoire is the summoner's weapon of this game. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Looking at my fit, I am genuinely like an in-between between like the adventuring gear of him and Kryl, and then like the casual look of Sphene. Because like, look at those pants. Those are definitely those are definitely not like actual casual pants. Those are like for working. Plus I got those boots. Game, I've seen this before. Yay, fear-mongering! Ah, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it, but when I had work the next day... but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside in the morning, or afternoon. The worst I ever got was on what should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the first day I met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. I want to point out the, so that's where the 8-man raid series is happening. The big gamer PC in the sky. $3,800 have already been filled. Dang. Do you want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. Oh, okay. So those regulators mentioned, they're supposed to be... I gotta walk all the way over there. The mentioned regulators, there's these little doohickeys on people's heads. In the base expansion, their whole deal is that you die, a whole soul, like an entire soul that was cleansed of its memories, gets pumped into you to revive you. It was once my job to deliver the goods by Harvard, Colorado, but that's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. Huh. But, well, you know, soul power isn't that very, ethical? And we cut off that. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. City-wide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Recalibrating parameters. Injured, 87 individuals. Casualties, 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators, 0. Patches of white dust. Huh. I appreciate that a mini-map exists, but I would like to point out that's the map. That's like the most zoomed out the mini-map can be. So, like, I don't know, but I do appreciate that the map button is just quick. Hmm. Well, damn. What of the dust found on some sites? Dust in a PC? Typical. Oh my god. The both stories speak of missing remains as suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. Hey lad, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now. But are you close enough to join them? Damn it, our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. Ah, I don't have time to switch into the combat outfit. Alright. Ooh, voiced. I did not like that.
Stay back! Stay away from me! Leave him alone!
Are you all right?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me...
That was a good voice crack. This is a serious situation, but that was good acting.
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
Getting murdered by a robot's bare hands does sound terrifying.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Go to them, quickly! Quick!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape. Mother! Mother, please!
No.
Isadora!
By the way, that kid was in a coma and we healed him, and,
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
oh my god.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Girl, your voice is high.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Thank you, miss. Will she sleep like that over.
Man, this healing spell is taking longer to cast than usual. Well, I mean, it's a constant healing. There's a difference.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
They started doing these title drops only for this expansion's patches, and I'm vibing with it. They didn't used to do that before. I'm gonna have to go with the carne asada. A Cramrad, do you think he would have been struck down? If he's wounded or worse, I should go to him. Oh, this is a tiny-ass couch. Or I'm just a big guy. I think the lack of armrest is what makes it feel tiny. Aw. Oh! This music is ominous. I might raise the volume a smidge after this. I'm liking this music, it's creepy. And then it's over. I bet you we're gonna find a dead body. Or nothing at all, considering there's that whole dust thing. Alright, I'm just... The posture is so funny to me. The bad posture is for aura purposes. Oh, he's still alive.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Oh!
That dust.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells. Shit.
Uh-oh. I was half expecting that robot to start sprinting.
You can't be here! You need to run, now!
Oh.
A trap! Take care of the others, eh?
Oh god. I haven't been that creeped out by a robot since the Emmy in Metroid Dread.
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe?
I really like Spheen's outfit.
Geode!
Aww.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere...
Oh god, the stillness.
Story short.
I never realized how eerie the stillness of a robot would be until seeing it
What could you
so clearly there.
gain from these atrocities?
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
Ugh.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance. Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promise to halt my harvest?
You would only seek other victims.
It was foolish of me to even ask. I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
Ah, Calyx. You're kind of a terrifying villain, but you have a weirdly good theme. Which, I mean, is most Final Fantasy... You can't be a good Final Fantasy villain if you don't have a good theme. I'm looking at you, Ultima Final Fantasy XVI. This pile of dust. These ashes. And the soul cell he left behind was... that his twisted way of returning Geode to us. Damn you, Calyx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. He was our friend. Final Fantasy XVI has a very, very boring final boss and main villain. All his all his minions are way more interesting than he himself. It's baffling. Also, I just saw a notification pop up on my phone. Give me a moment. Oh, that was nothing. Okay. Yeah, that's literally all Ultima does. Ultima is just like, Clive, give me your body, you're my vessel. And Clive is just like, no, and Ultima is just like, okay, I want to make the world gray now. And then the world is gray. And Ultima is just like, Clive, I made the world gray. Can you give me your body? That's just what the entire second half of 16 is. Final Fantasy loves villains that have noble intentions. They did it for this game multiple times. They did it back in the original Final Fantasy IX. Wolf, I am the best character. Yes, Torgal is in fact the best. Are you gonna teleport me? Ah, thank goodness. Dang, he really stands out as tall. This is not the first nor last time that we held a guy's soul in our hand.
Our dear Geode.
Oh, it's voiced.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gululja. The blame lies with Calyx, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy? Living our lives. What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calyx for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him. Wait, where are you going? To clear my head. Don't worry. I won't do anything stupid.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure Nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
I know that's supposed to be serious, but her floating paintbrush was very distracting.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calyx is hiding. But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Is there anything I can do? If you have a shoulder to spare, I mean, I have plenty of shoulder. That's a lot of shoulder on this one cat. These air wheelers are Gnault's babies. You won't find a smoother ride in all of Everkeep. Oh, I can't open up my hotbar. For years now I've been taking the dialogue's fast. Sometimes Geode would come along too, and we'd end up racing. Does that surprise you? Our friendship always had a competitive edge. We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dome. Almost there. Be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. Phew. That's helped clear my head a touch. You know, Aled, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I remember, at least. The memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. If not just call pest control, well then. Boy, do I have a surprise for you, Husk. We are pest control. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Girl, we've been part of a tournament.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
That second one seems so mean. I'm here laughing because raise a glass, and those are 10. To Geode's memory. That's... What? That's not the right accent.
Oh.
Is it the right...
What are the two of you doing
It's
here?
so hard to do an accent that I can't even tell if I'm doing the right accent.
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
A ver, hablo en español, and then I talk in English. Because Latino accent has some sounds are more soft. No, that's not it. I've been able to do it on command once, and that was when I was on the 1000-Year Door stream doing Cortez.
They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me. I'd also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company.
Huh.
So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine, that was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived.
Led is looking flummoxed right
If we were
now.
so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier. And learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas. I wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Huh, neat.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided.
By the way, I've said it in Discord, but like I really like the facial animations of Hrothgar.
Comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this. And why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Out of context, that sounds bad. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take a quick little break. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Making noises so that those who are watching know that I am back. Da 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 da. Still debating on if I should switch to the adventuring outfit yet or not. Well, I could take it as a ledge simply not having had the chance to do so. I'm not liking the creepy music. You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of those Neo-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. A pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Wait. There we go. Toggle. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Sween. Come to check out our well-being, have you? Well, I can say things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous. The specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I, personally, was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now, I must begin my prayers. The darkness grows closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. So what do you think? Was I right to worry? Their fear is palpable. Oh! Why is that golden? That should not be golden.
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail.
Oh my god.
Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gotham. As for its source, well...
Alex.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death.
I like...
Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity.
I'm liking the long pauses that are there if you have the autoplay on.
Hope for it. Wish for it. Pray for it. We will become endless.
God, this is so creepy.
With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Thou, Wuklemat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuli-Yolal.
Why do you say it like that?
To stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn?
Yolal.
Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tuli-Yolal will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do?
Unhood and give him a speech, girl.
I am not their queen.
Someone didn't play Persona 3. You're right. So, like, he's clearly inside the big tower, right? From the screen? Oh yeah, I do like the final boss of Dawn Trail, because Wook Lamont has a whole screaming match of like, Sphene, listen to me, you can't do this, and like at that point Sphene was just like, oh, I'm gonna delete myself and merge with this robot so I could kill you. I'm gonna be one-track minded, willingly. Bye. And then Sphene does snap out of it, and then doubles down. She's just like, you're right, I am determined. Determined to do it anyway. I'll let them have their moment. Ten 10/29. That date feel... Okay, that's clearly a date. I'm being a nerd and Googling it. What does 10/29 have? No, in fact, I found nothing on 10/29 being of relevant date. Alright. Alright. Now it's time.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Girl, everything's glowing.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit...
You got the lights working!
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
Oh.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author.
This is what Easter eggs are useful for.
We then began accessing the nodes for every door in FFXIV, seeking out control. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
He's such a little guy. You're a treasure, Shale.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx.
We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
Alright, we're looking for key cards. Oh, okay. You're an MMO, you don't have to be so... Director Demetrius. By the way, I think after this quest is over, I'll stop stream there. Because already past the 2-hour mark, which is usually my point of exhaustion. $158. $11509. Today I began my employment at Preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling that this would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts were correct. Master Calix's philosophy is a refined ideal of notions I've only vaguely entertained, that mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. Number 4. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calix's blinding brilliance. Number 9. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen's Fiend insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Number 14. Our Malala colleagues, including the Protolab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? Number 18. From tomorrow, I have been assigned to assist with the research project in the Deuterolab, who are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. I don't like that. Did not mean to be the Alright. Well, this is a pretty involved quest. It's not often that this game does actual puzzle solving. Circuit will malfunction with duplicate pattern. So I see circle and square. There's a note on the bottom left about backup power. Oh, excuse me. Bottom right is a square and top right is half a circle. Oh, I got it. Preservation early days. Preservation, an Alexandrian institute for technological development, was founded by Calix. Sorry, I got briefly interrupted by my mom. She was taking a nap and just woke up. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development, was founded by Calix at... Sorry, more interruptions. Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the storm surge, with Calix's design for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled the Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the storm surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence. Calix to me is paralleling both Kuja and Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. Actually, more so just Kuja, now that I think about it. Because Kuja's whole deal is that he learns that he's meant to die, and he's just like, no, I can't die. If I'm gonna die, everything's gonna die. Anytime I think of Kuja, I can't help but think of his music, but more specifically, the ProZD skit of "This world is imperfect. If only it were as beautiful as me." If I go down, I'm taking you with me. Yeah, that's basically Kuja. Well, I did say at the end of that quest, I've already streamed for... Well, there was no image, so okay, for real, this will be the last quest. Usually you can tell when a quest is like super duper important whenever the preview, like there's a preview image to it. Gods above, isn't that? The key to interdimensional fusion? That looks like to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key. But isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Aeled has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, Preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were reconstructed here. So what might that tell us? The crystal itself is the key. That would be the logical conclusion, yes? It is as my parents explained. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. And for you, Husk, because you don't have the context of 10 years of story, the Warrior of Light has the soul of an ancient known as Azem, who was basically this badass in the past, and for some reason, Azem's symbol is on this dimensional key. We also carry a crystal with Azem's symbol on it, and in recent updates, whenever there's a boss fight and they need a party of 8 people, but there's no NPCs around, like there's no main characters, the Warrior of Light uses the crystal and yoinks 7 people across space and time to be your allies, which is how you get other players. That's the canon reason. So something is up with the Ancients and Azem and this dimensional fusion. So very, very curious. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Ishtola's assistant for the thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there is a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards that they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. I guess that was also a good refresher for me. In fact, there it is. In the Age of the Ancients, when the Convocation made the decision to summon Zodiark, the 14th seat of the Council, the seat of Azem, lay empty, for the holder had relinquished his office. When his dear friend and former Azem, Venat, labored to summon Heidelin, he did not take part in her plan, though the circumstances of his reasons were unclear. To the end, Azem walked a path all his own. After the world was divided into 10 and 3, the uncentered Ascians sought to reconvene their council. Yet while they succeeded in locating the fragment souls of their erstwhile colleagues, these reincarnations had no recollection of their ancient lives. Thus did the Unsundered find it necessary to prepare crystals replete with the knowledge and memories tied to each office. As a defector, Azem and his legacy were deemed unworthy of preservation. Moved perhaps by lingering affection, however, Emmett Selk crafted a crystal in secret which contained his dear friend's signature incantation, a magic with which he had summoned allies to his side in times of great need. The selfsame crystal was inherited by the Warrior of Light, whose path has ever been paved with trial and tribulation. Whenever he is required to call upon the depths of his convictions, Azem's crystal is sure to answer. Alright, well, that's a good rundown of lore. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Oh, level 3. That should get us to into the director's office. So what was it that you were hoping to find in there again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us? Right. Haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning. But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him, which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze a device and see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Alad's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than him? Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. I'll start the show then. I wonder how messed up this will be.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
Ooh!
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind if we halt that process? Unending stagnation is the
I'm sorry for laughing, but that is a fuck-ass haircut.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on
Like, that's a haircut that belongs on, like, an anime twink, not a serious researcher.
He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research.
I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next
How much you bet she's about to get murdered?
Surely you...
Yeah, I called it. You don't delete a recording of someone just saying, "Oh, I want to leave," unless you do that.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
Oh, you can see the blood pooling a little bit. Ew. I mean, that was borderline point blank husk, so... But yes, it is amazing that he would still be a good shot with those bangs. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. I checked the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius. You were the director? Oh my god. Of course you'd buy into a stupid ideology with that stupid haircut. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I am not surprised, given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers... They did not regret their actions. Right, Echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Oh, Kryl. Worry not, Sphene. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But what we do know is that your mother and the father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. Again with the small couches. Hey, wait a minute. That looks like a sapphire. That looks like a garnet. This might be a Final Fantasy IX reference. Something odd, something odd. Oh, that's a coffee maker, okay. Ew! 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 Sir, that is a child! Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional travel portal verified. Continue attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in their explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Major incident. Details in full report. Those 2 inept Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the... The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx's physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine what the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Well, okay. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition, whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, and must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Well then. Could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. Remember what Kafkiwa used to say, Shale? Never trust an electrope surface. Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. Genuinely, I am really liking this. This is a very different this is a change of pace from the usual update. It is a sapphire and a garnet. Okay. Still nothing. Okay, that's just so I could see it again. protection. Alright, Alexandrites protection, Sapphire's honesty. The step ladder. I mean, I'm not surprised that she would be on a step ladder. I mean, like,
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
The Endless are memories. And if memories are data, then...
It's gonna be that big-ass tower. In a world formed of data?
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
I love Kingdom Hearts Unchained.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
I was fucking right.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Sphne's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face...
Actually it's Union Kai. Or Union Key.
To partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories, well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been.
It's actually Cross. I was just joking, okay? Anyway, time for this fuck-ass teenager to do his thing.
It's hoping to find me by tracing security data. That will not be necessary.
Yeah, it's the tower, like I said like an hour ago.
Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you.
Unfortunately, I've been spoiled about that force, but I'm hyped.
Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
trying to
If we refuse this invitation?
Sorry, pondering some stuff about streaming.
And continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
He pours salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine.
Huh.
Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
This guy and Klaus should have tea together. Yeah?
It does. And I'm satisfied.
Yeah, Calyx is pretty close to a Xenoblade villain. Nihilism and all.
Life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
Meanwhile, I think Wook Lamont would be great friends with Rex. She hasn't had much of a spotlight here, but yeah.
Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
He's wrong if he thinks he's taken our measure. Husk, 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 husk. It's Xenogears. Final Fantasy and Xenoblade crossover when that's literally Xenogears.
This is not my place to say this.
Sorry for undercutting the emotional moment, but like, Xenogears was literally written as the original version of Final Fantasy VII. And Square Enix was like, yo, this is too weird and complicated to be Final Fantasy VII. We'll let you make the game anyway, but like this will be a separate project.
Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
Trying to think, when can I stream this again? Because, well, tomorrow you stream Husk, Tuesday we have Doctor Who, Wednesday you stream again, Thursday, I guess I can stream... Yeah, I guess I can stream Thursday because Friday's a no-go. Friday is when my brother comes back from, well, no. Friday is when it's my brother's birthday, so... Because I'm thinking I could stream again tonight, but I have no idea how much the end sequence will be after all this is over. So I guess Thursday I will stream the conclusion to this because... Oh, holy moly. This has been a lot. Damn that bastard Calyx. He's waited until I was this close before snatching away my moment of triumph. Alright. I've already been streaming for almost 3 hours, which is slightly long for me, but you know what? See y'all whenever I stream next. Whenever that is, yeah. Until later. Bye. I pressed the wrong button.